April Fool's, nerds! No, I did not set a world record. Although, fun fact, the speedrun.com category for the Wizard of Oz 100% has no runs. So literally, if you beat the game, no matter how long you take at it, you will be a world record holder. Just thought I'd give you that brief in mind. I'm Fresno Inferno. Hello, sweethearts. I'm joined by Michael Hoovian and Sean Dillon, and 2 days ago, we did a Quantum Leap podcast on A Song for the Soul, and it was a redo, and it broke us. So here we are to bullshit for the next however long it is about whatever. Begin.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're pretty much here. Yeah, we're pretty much gathered here on this April Fool's Eve to just let it all out.
Yep. Though in our defense, we are very much tired.
Yeah,
We did not like Song of the Soul on the second watch, or in my case, the second podcast.
yeah, it was tough, especially given the fact of like we had in the first go we were like, hey, it's not the best, and then as we found out more and more, and especially as we got introduced to the fact that we'll probably have to do a Leap to Die for, it kind of soured our mood very quickly.
On the bright side, at least we didn't get fucking Lee Harvey Oswald.
Well, we did twice. We vetoed it.
Why? Yeah, twice.
And now,
Yeah, but if
that-
we got
that-
3 times, then we'd have to do it.
the rules of three. But
Episode 4, Lee Harvey Oswald. Episode 5, The Evil Leapers.
episode 6, The Trial of Katie McBain.
Episode 7, Justice. Oh god.
Episode 8, an episode of Columbo.
Episode
Yeah.
9,
So,
Symphogear.
Yeah, oh god.
That's not on the wheel. That's not on the wheel.
I can dream,
Is it
Sean.
not? Is it not? I thought it was on the wheel.
No, Bochy the Rock is on the wheel.
Oh yeah, that's on the
Yes.
wheel.
Yes.
But yeah, today, but yeah, we were gonna talk about just having like an hour and a half of bull. This is what this is. So I'm just gonna add on the first topic. Let's. I'm just like quickly thinking for a second.
We
Because
banded
my
this
brain
around
decided to.
as the Hot Takes podcast. And I'm probably
Yeah.
going to put up some, picture of fire or something. Oh my god, flames.
Yeah.
Flames
Oh,
on the
yes.
side of my face!
Yeah. Welcome to the Hot Takes podcast, because all of us have wonderful hot takes.
It's like the Hot
So,
Food
let's begin
podcast, except there's no chicken
let's-
wings.
So let's begin with the early 2000s music scene, and specifically the ska band Goldfinger. Their cover of
God.
90, their cover of 99 Luftballons, or 99 Red Balloons as they call it, because it's the English cover of the song, is a fucking hate crime. Their usage of
Yeah.
the German language is a hate crime, and it's telling that they're re-recording during quarantine, cut the German translation out of it, and just did straight English.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's.
Hang on. This wasn't a thing that happened in like 2002? They did it during lockdown?
No, they redid it during lockdown. It originally happened in the early 2000s.
Okay,
I think
okay.
2004. But the 2004 version has the German in it, and they scream it in such a butt metal way that sounds like a fucking hate crime.
Welcome to Goldfinger is.
You know,
Oh god,
it's funny considering the English version, the original English version, contains a line that I accidentally resonates with pretty much half of our dealings. Everyone's a superhero. Everyone's a Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
I mean, the original one does have the Captain Kirk line, but the original song is in the context of "You're Captain Kirk, so shoot the fuckers down."
Ooh.
So in other words, you're saying there's Klingons on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. There's Klingons on the starboard bow, Jim.
Shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to kill.
Yeah. So that's another thing about what's funny is one of the running jokes is the fact that Star Trekking is literally insane.
Every so often, Mike will just post Star Trek in the chat. I look at the chat. Oh, there's a new message, and there's fucking Potato Head Captain Kirk, and I'm like, God damn it! No.
I mean,
What
probably.
he's never seen the video before I started that.
Wait, how have you not seen the video?
I don't know,
Before,
but I have
before,
now, and I wish I
yeah,
hadn't.
yeah, it is literally like you just got a bunch of Suntarans together and we're like, yeah.
Which honestly might have made the Centaur appearances in the Chibnall era much more tolerable.
Chocolate.
They just started singing Star Trek.
Oh
Because
God, what if that happens in the Eurovision episode?
Oh my lord, the Eurovision episode.
Could you imagine just like a group of Suntarans comes out and there's like Star Trekking, like they're not even talking like Klingon Suntarans. They're just perfect English.
Or no. Daleks come in and sing "I'm gonna spend my Christmas with a Dalek." The planet Scaro's entry to the Eurovision Space Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, I've got a good one.
Not Christmas with a Dalek.
The Cybermen come out and sing Mr. Roboto. You're wondering who I am. I am excellent.
Yeah, and then you had the Doctor and the new companion being like, I want to sing.
Well, there's always a twist at the end.
Can I just say I love the fact that this new era of Doctor Who, pretty much everyone's just said F it and just are writing whatever, because now when you open up the universe to magic, you pretty much just said, you know what, F it, just do whatever you want.
If I'm being honest, I kind of prefer the Moffat era to the Davies era. Even this new Davies era, I'm mostly preferring the Moffat stuff. Like, I wasn't 100% hot on the Christmas special, but generally, on the whole, I prefer the Moffat approach.
No, I mean, I'm a
Basically,
Moffat booster as well.
how I look at it is like this. I split the Davies era into two. The first Davies era I completely hate with a burning passion, except for series 1.
So you hate David Tennant?
Yes.
Wow. Now we're getting into the hot takes. Goodness.
Okay.
Would you like some buffalo sauce
what?
with that, Michael?
Oh God! Like, let me tell you about David 10. 10 is literally a light switch. He's like somebody in the back room that went like he has Skinny as Schoolboy or Time Lord Victorious. And someone's in the back room just flicking that light switch up and down like a lunatic. And it's like he switches on a dime. There's not, and then when you look at 14, who is literally one of my favorite incarnations.
There you go.
Because that's the thing is, I don't hate David Tennant.
You hate the 10th
I
Doctor.
hate 10.
Okay.
So you hate the 10th Doctor because he's straight.
Go.
It's just 10. It's just the 10th Doctor is just. And it's not even like you can say his only good companion. I like Martha. Martha's okay in the middle, but Donna is probably his only companion I would say is good.
And
really good.
tellingly, Donna's the one who's 14's sole companion.
Yes.
There you go. I will say, I will add a hot take of my own. The 10th Doctor is my least favorite of the Scottish Doctors.
I mean, there's 3 options. 4? 3?
3.
There's
7, 12, 15?
3. Yeah, there's 7. There's 7. There's 7 and 12.
And 15.
Yeah. Capaldi is just.
Capaldi's the greatest.
Oh
yeah,
my
but
God.
10's 14's also Scottish.
Yeah, so it's 5. So it'd be
Okay,
5
14.
doctors.
Yeah, okay. I forgot 14. My bad.
Okay, hold on. So it'd be, yeah, so double checking, it's 7, 10, 14, 12, and
15.
15.
15. Right.
You want to know? It's just the fact of Tenet. It's just the fact that Tenet is 14's been through everything. This is a man who's post Timeless Children. This is a man who's post The Flux. All this post Capaldi, dealing with Clara, who post 11 and all the Trenzalore bull. And so you sit him down, and so when he talks to Shirley that very first time, and he goes, "I don't even know who I am anymore," he means it. He is a broken man that needs Donna to save his soul.
Well, that's all right then.
After all, Clara was killed by a bud!
By a bird. The fucking face Neil Patrick Harris makes, he's like a bird.
I genuinely like that's the thing is somehow the toy maker has aged. Let me be eerily specific.
Right.
Neil Patrick Harris's portrayal of the toy maker has aged beautifully.
Yes. You gotta be specific about that shit because, oh, goodness.
Yeah, that could be a whole conveison.
Anyway, about the Celestial Toy Maker,
one day I will.
Oh,
One day I will have. I may put the new animation in front of my eyes just to see if them going ham with it and going psychedelic actually improves it by a margin. But I won't be admitting when or where I do it. You know.
I'm looking at the CGI and I have to go, no.
Yeah,
No.
that's the thing about it is the toy maker. Like when you look at it, I have the Target novelization of the Celestial Toy Maker, and reading it, it's okay. Like it's okay, but I think what people like about the Celestial Toy Maker is they like his subsequent appearance. They kind of forget the fact of what he came from, and they like his subsequent appearances. Before I say anything,
Big Finish is a thing.
yeah, and no, not just Big Finish, but in the comics. Fresno here has listened to Nightmare Fair.
That was like ages ago. I couldn't tell you anything that happened in that shit now.
But I know, but you said specifically that it wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. I don't remember it being good. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the toy maker animation. I will say that. Well, as horrifying as it might look, at least they had some ambition behind it. Could be worse. You could be the Underwater Menace animation.
Oh God,
which you want hot takes. That just drains all the weird Gonzo soul out of that thing, and you've got nothing left. It's just boring as piss. Which is what everyone else sees it as because they're like, oh, this is too weird and silly. I don't like that, so I have nothing to hang my hat on, so it's just boring. But if you take that out, all you've got is boring bullshit.
They changed. No, you go first, Sean.
See also the colorization of war games. Like, cutting it down to that length is fucking abysmal.
I haven't seen that.
God, don't even get... Okay, no, you know what? No, that can't. Justice for Magnus. Justice for Magnus.
I just want to say something. So a while ago, I got season 25 Classic Doctor Who Blu-ray, Sylvester McCoy's second season. So I was watching Silver Nemesis, and I didn't want the televised version. I went to go for the VHS version they had on the thing, but unfortunately, it actually was the VHS version. They had actually just upscaled the tape, so I was like, shit, I don't want to watch it in shitty quality. If I wanted to do that, I'd just get an actual VHS tape. So while I had that disc in there, I was too lazy to get up and switch discs, so I watched the special edition, which, they had the CGI and all this shit. There's a part where pipes come out of the ground and gas cops to death to keep him away from the comet thing. In the special edition, it's Cybermance.
Oh, fuck off.
But
I'm sorry.
the one thing I was like, because it's weird. Another thing, because the person in charge of special edition stuff, who gets credited as the producer of the special edition, is our friend Pete McTeague. And it is fucking jarring to see his name in the credits of a McCoy episode when I considering Kerblam. But
Well, on the other hand, in the novelization of Kerblam, the Seventh Doctor shows up.
yeah, I know about that. I hate it. Thank you. But
Wait,
I'm
does Mike know about this?
sorry.
no,
Wait
no,
a
no,
minute.
wait. Let me
back
finish
up,
my point.
wait.
Can I finish this my thought before we tangent on that? There's one thing that I wanted him to do, like just lean full into the fact that you're making an alternative cut of the episode, and that it's just a reconstruction. Is not replacing the thing. The part where the lady from 1638 is like, Doctor Who, have you never wondered where he came from? But I know all his secrets. You should have dubbed in a line that said, I know of the timeless child. Just do it. Just do it. Go fucking full ham with it.
You know what? And then in 9 weeks from now, you two get to talk about Zagreus.
Yay, fun. So, yeah, why don't you tell Mike about the horrible, awful thing that they do in the Kerblam novelization?
I was getting I haven't gotten yet to the Kerblam novelization, so I literally went over to my collection of Target novels and pulled it out. So just tell me the page.
I don't know the page number, but okay. So the CEO lady, it's been in too long, and I'm not rewatching it. The CEO lady, it turns out, is actually a spot. Is actually we get flashbacks to her childhood, where her father gets involved in a protest against automation. The auto business, and the Seventh Doctor shows up and pulls her out while it turns into a riot.
Notably, the Seventh Doctor is not, helping with the riot.
I'm sure.
Oh God.
I could see White Coat 7 doing that.
I'm trying.
Dark Coat 7? Dark Coat 7? Dark Coat 7 would literally be leading the riot.
You try? I got a list of whole notes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Fucking
Okay.
Kerblam.
We also get a flashback to an 11-year-old Judy who can't sleep one night and goes to see what her dad is doing in the kitchen since the lights are on. He is painting a protest sign that says, "Jobs for people, not robots," and is apparently drunk. Because, people get laid off for protest. This must have issues, right, McTeague?
Oh,
The drunkenness
Oh,
doesn't
God.
up again, but it seems like a mean detail to put in about someone Judy looks up to. The next morning, she hears her parents arguing about the protests her dad wants to attend. Her mom thinks they're too violent. She says activists have recently, quote, bombed a robot factory, to which Judy's dad replies, good. She says violence is not the answer. The book clearly wants us to side with Judy's mom. Her dad goes to the protest anyway. Judy sneaks out and follows him. The narration describes some of the signs that she sees. He said, say no to automation, people, not robots, and don't steal our livelihoods, which are described as shouty in the book. I will note that.
What the fuck is this? Is this like what is this? The 19 this is like literally someone taking like the 1970s 80s like brew with machines, and then they're just like twisting it into what? What?
No. I will note the signs are rendered in all caps in the novel, so adding the descriptor shouty reads to me as a moral judgment on McTeague's part. I assume Judy and the rest of the crowd are then hit with pepper spray, at which point a girl with long hair and a ponytail and a short older man carrying an umbrella with a strange red handle pull her out of the crowd. McTeague fucking puts the 7th Doctor and Ace in this fucking book. The 13th Doctor doesn't bring up these events at all, which means she either forgot about them or is perfectly fucking fine with Kerblam spraying tear gas into a crowd of protesters who have lost their jobs, and still enthusiastically shops at Kerblam and defends its systems later on. What a fucking low point.
Okay, but Mati, that's worse, right? You see how that's worse, right?
Okay, there's no...
Mateek, like, it feels like Mateek, what he tried to do is that he tried to, because Kerblam is a Chibnall episode, right? It was written by...
No, McTeague wrote Kerblam.
He wrote
Yeah, okay.
I could have seen if it was a Chris Chibnall episode and he added that to be like, oh, so 13 went back to visit Judy, and like he tried to add that bit in and kind of messing up more. If he wrote the original television script,
his name's on it at the end. We can't speculate how much influence Chris Chibnall may or may not have had on the final product.
The book then ends with Judy remembering talking to the 7th Doctor, who reassures her after pulling her out of the aforementioned crowd that had been tear gassed, telling her that she could grow up to change things so riots and things like her dad's arrest won't happen in the future. What does Judy do with her power as an adult? As I mentioned above, she makes the robots do the tedious stuff and the humans manage them. But she doesn't appear to lift a finger to hire any new people, and at no point in the book is there a word of anything akin to a pay increase, including at the end here.
Ugh.
he saw the backlash to Kerblam, and his solution to fixing the backlash was adding in 7, who was supposed to say, who said what 13 was supposed to say.
No.
Yep.
Don't like that. Nope.
So you're basically taking away more agency from 13 by basically giving the line she should have said to McCoy.
Oh.
Yeah, and then there's on the bright side, at least it's not the way McCoy, the 7th Doctor, was portrayed in Power of the Doctor, wherein he literally tells Ace, it's wrong to blow things up.
I will say this, that's kind of a thing he would say, because of what he says, but then he immediately goes like, give me some of that Nitro 9 you're not carrying. Like he says it's it's not right to blow things up, but he said it when he says it, it's more
Power
that.
of the Doctor is very much, it's wrong to blow things up, rather than, and you shouldn't blow up this building that I am directing at.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Again, going to Silver Nemesis. I don't suppose you ignored my instructions and and brought some Nitro 9 with you. Of course I didn't, Professor. I'm a good girl. Good. Blow up that vehicle.
Good. Blow up that vehicle. Again, like, it's just the fact of man, I don't understand Chris Chibnall. Like the more, the more we find out, like there was someone I watched a video on Zagreus when I started realizing I wanted to pick it when I wanted to pick it, and the connections that Chris Chibnall has between Flux and Zagreus. Oh my god!
Well, I'm not going to be watching that video on Zagreus.
Oh boy!
I linked it. I linked it to Fresno.
You did. I haven't gotten to it yet, but man, Man, hearing now that it compares the greatest to Fly. Oh, I am very interested. Oh, I'm glad that we have the back of the Chitlin era now. You know, we
I
don't
am.
have to,
Oh my.
we don't have to get that mad about it
I
anymore.
I think having to go introduce someone who's new to Doctor Who through the Chibnall era, having to give that analysis. My final thoughts on Chibnall are very much he's fine, very much not someone that I'd want to be in charge of Doctor Who, but
Oh no.
still,
He
he's a safe pair of hands.
here's how I described him. He's a writer who needs a boss. Which is good. He needs a framework to make something good. There are writers like that, and they're pretty freaking good writers like that need a framework. When you have to create the framework, oh
Uh,
god.
like at the most admirable thing I could probably say is he somehow got 6 episodes of television during COVID.
That's an
Somehow
achievement.
Flux aired in a way that could air on television.
That's something, I suppose. Well,
Not much, but something.
but
Also,
we're free of it now. We're free of it. Now we can go on to the last ever season of Doctor Who because this YouTuber didn't like Empire of Death.
I mean, Empire of Death. Yeah.
See, my opinion on Empire of Death is just the fact I like Sutek. Okay, I like the ending two-parter. It was good, but they messed up the ending. Like the end, like I when you have Russell T Davies in his behind the scenes video, flat out say I made Ruby Sunday because I got pissed off at Ray from the Star Wars movies.
No, no space movie hot takes. No,
Yes,
I'm me
space
away.
movie talk. Yes,
No,
space movie.
no,
Literally,
Good.
he literally said that in the behind the scenes was that
Yeah, but
I
the,
learned
thing
that.
is, the problem is you set up her being special in the way that highlights how special she is, rather than and the way that the Ray was initially set up as they all assume she's special because she has the Force.
Yeah,
This
like
and
the
this is
way.
how Star Wars works. She's an all we know about Ray is she's an orphan.
Yeah,
So
right.
so your brain assumes, oh, so she's someone special, like Luke Skywalker. She's part of the Skywalker family, or Palpatine, or the secret sister of Han Solo.
Oh God. See how a lot of people described how I wanted it to be, how I wanted it to end, or how I wanted this. God, Ruby Sunday. I'll explain Ruby Sunday in a minute, but I'll start with Ray and then I'll work to Ruby Sunday.
Oh no.
Ray, when I watched Last Jedi, that movie pissed me off, and it fully pissed me off, and it continued to piss me off because Poe was 100% right. But when they started talking about like how Ray's parents were like, like they were just nobodies, and then like, I'm no, that. I mean, I'm not saying make her a Skywalker. That to me is a little. I mean, in the in the freaking legacy books, we learn about like Jaina and Anakin Solo, and
Yeah,
there's
but I am. Look, the books are still there, but yeah, they did. I feel like when people say they wanted to have it all planned out at the beginning, being they wanted, I think the problem is that I don't. It's not so much that it wasn't planned out, but rather they didn't have anyone interested in going and taking the foundations and going forward.
that honest to you know what I'm gonna state this out right. The fact that both timelines now are canon messes with a lot of things.
I mean, the solution is to go, fuck it, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care.
That's my.
Well, look at Doctor.
I just
Yeah,
want to say. I just want to say before you get any further, it's ironic that we did this to cleanse our minds of Song for the Soul. When talk about Chibnall and then talk about Disney era Star Wars causes me more psychic damage than that episode did.
Okay. So, let's get back to Davies. So, you don't like the rape?
Ruby,
The,
Ruby Sunday. Ruby Sunday's like, I think one of like the best fan theories someone had on Ruby Sunday was that she wasn't a celestial, but she was the creation of a celestial.
or
Was that
I mean,
was
if
that
you want,
was that she was created? She basically was created and then dropped off at the church, basically as like a toy or something from a celestial that didn't prove out anything, and she created her own life. That that's good. I like that. Not the fact of not the fact of, oh, she was birthed by an actual woman, but she was birthed by a woman who didn't know what the hell to do, so she went to a church, and then because the goblins went after her, that no, you're
yeah,
spinning too much. You're starting to
yeah,
do burnout here.
or if you want to have her still be, not have her be a celestial or just be an ordinary girl, you could just do the Clara route and have her be the cause of herself.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that she. Oh yeah, that they literally find her. Like yeah, that would actually be perfect. That Ruby finds herself.
yeah, in
Uh,
that dead world, she finds herself and decides to give herself a hook. Give a, 'cause she sees a girl, 'cause when they're in that desert future where everything's dead and horrible, she finds herself and gives her and decides, okay, I'm gonna take this baby in and I'm gonna find her a home.
yeah, done. Check. We move on.
There is a bootstrap paradox to it all, but again, that's still sci-fi stuff.
Well,
We
oh,
don't
oh,
know.
well, that would be really confusing. What we need, clearly, is a 5-minute TARDIS monologue to explain the concept of the bootstrap paradox so that you
Okay.
understand it
I'm
before it
sorry.
happens.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Fresno, but I love that. I love that explanation mainly because it's Capaldi chewing the fat and just being
Oh,
like
in
it is
isolation.
12.
In isolation, it's fun. As part of that episode, God damn you, Toby Woodhouse, how stupid do you think I am?
I know, but
Or he just needed he didn't have an idea for a pre-credit scene.
yeah, I love the fact of
Also,
like 12 basically going like, so Beethoven isn't real. I'm sorry, but he is. I've met him.
I'm
He
watching
likes a good
season
arm wrestle.
9 of a time travel show. Do you not think I know what a bootstrap paradox is?
Well, considering Tumblr's reaction to that, and oh god, I'm getting back to flashbacks.
No,
Oh, God.
stay away. Tumblr and Who, stay away. And Tumblr and Moffat era, do not.
I'm pretty sure.
I just immediately heard Class in my and I just had a horrible Vietnam
It's
flashback.
like
No.
it's like we have a hot take Geiger counter and it's going.
So
No.
Fresno, do you have a hot?
Do I have any what?
Do you
hot
have any
take?
hot takes?
Because so far it's just been me and Mike.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you've been reacting to our hot takes.
Let's see. What have I got? What have I got in my bag of tricks? These
You
are
were
the
talking
voyages.
about-
These are the
Oh,
voyages
God.
is a fitting finale to Enterprise.
Oh.
I've not seen Enterprise.
Yeah. Do you know how it ends?
Basically,
Wait,
Sean, have
Mike,
you
Mike. Does Sean know how it ends?
I know the bit the thin points of it.
I see.
Do you know about the TNG episode The Pegasus?
Vaguely.
Oh,
It's the one where Riker did some war crimes as a kid, and now they're coming back to haunt him.
So basically, these are the voyages. Is literally one of the most slap in the face things of it. I know Fresno likes it, but pretty much what these are the voyages is basically it is a simulation of the final endings of Enterprise and also the birth of the United Federation of Planets, all seen through the eyes of a holodeck on board the USS Enterprise D during that episode, where Riker is talking to Donna Troy about what she should do.
I'm I think that could work, but very yeah, like a sort of a this is a show that's a prequel show. Now our final episode is the show as viewed as history, but I don't feel like from what you're describing it is that take on the show on the material.
Not
He
quite. Not
wanted
quite.
to freaking no. It is literally it. That's what I wanted it to be, but it feels a lot like especially this one scene. It feels like literally the future's looking at the past and poking fun at it.
Which, to be fair, the future often does poke fun at the past.
Yeah.
I mean, the past was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
god.
yes.
When the one scene in particular that's coming to mind is when Riker and Troy are on the bridge. And they just look and they just go and they're like, oh, look at all this, past tech. Oh, look at this. Look how all bad this is. Like, you're basically just kicking them when they're down.
I've only seen this episode once, but that's not quite the vibe I got from it. I'm not gonna say that it's like perfect 10 out of 10 television. It has problems. Like, for one, they probably should have kept it the specific time that Riker and Troy are from vague, instead of going, oh gee, I sure feel bad about the Pegasus, because of all episodes to tie it into is just that one's like not exactly the most stellar fucking thing. Oh boy, I gotta keep the secret from Picard or Admiral John Locke is gonna be mad at me. Time to go on the holodeck and cook for Archer.
Out of curiosity, do they have a book on the oral history of Enterprise and why they decide to end it that way?
No idea. I have no idea.
Like, has anyone asked Brian Braga when he was making Cosmos or the Orville?
So anyway, in a mirror darkly.
No, like.
You know what? Let's just rip the Band-Aid off right there. In a mirror darkly.
No! We haven't even done. God. No.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Basically, Sean, In a Mirror Darkly almost does the exact same thing, but instead of doing a TNG episode, it's the sequel to a TOS episode by the name of the Tholian Web.
It's a sequel to like 3 TOS episodes at once.
Yeah, everything I hear about In a Mirror Darkly, which is mostly from Fresno's rant, dare I say, Fresno's raving rants.
Huh?
Has been very, very terrible. Like,
okay,
it just sounds like the worst thing I could be watching. It's how I put it. I don't know, it's like, it's just a bunch of, yeah, sure, they're having fun, but doing what?
If you want 2 good Mirror Universe episodes,
I've seen Crossover and I've seen Mirror Mirror.
if you want 2 good Mirror Universe,
I've also seen Living Witness.
No, the novelization Dark Mirror.
I need read more Dwayne.
And the Star Trek Continues episode Fairest of Them All.
I have concerns about. Is Star Trek Continues the one by Vic?
Yes.
No,
Okay,
I'm
not watching that.
No. Okay, here's the bit.
Well, here's the thing. You have to watch. Well, or I say watch it because Grant Imahara, and oh my god.
Well, yeah. We love Grant Imahara.
Yeah, but again, Vic Mignogna.
No. Here's the way I like to delineate the particulars of Enterprise. Enterprise started as a show set in Star Trek's past. Season 4 of Enterprise is a Star Trek prequel show. There is a difference.
Yep. Yeah. Which apparently the fans want.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, you know, it didn't save the show, but they ate it up. They ate it up. I fucking hate it.
Ratings went up.
But
I hate season 3 of Enterprise with a fiery passion.
yeah, it's a.
I'm sure I'll have opinions on it when I watch it with Lena.
Yes,
But
going back to
season, but sorry, Fresno, you go.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this is why I like These Are the Voyages. It goes back to those first principles because the big thing in Enterprise is the temporal Cold War, where you've got these factions from the future back in the past fucking around trying to change history. Now, this eventually ends with evil alien Nazis, and but as an original concept, there's an interesting idea there where the past becomes this sort of battleground for the future, and this being Star Trek, you have the roots of utopianism influencing that future and coming back. One influences the other. As the past learns from the future, so does the future learn from the past. And that goes away for a bit when you get the late Manny Koto in the showrunner's chair, and you go, okay, but what if we had 3 episodes of Wrath of Khan backstory, and also 2 explaining Klingon forehead ridges? But
oh joy! Because what we needed more than anything else was a reason to explain why the Klingons no longer look like people in a bunch of white guys in brown face and Fu Manchu eyebrow.
Here's the thing, though. I kind of liked the idea of that. Like the Klingons pretty much saw the augment virus as like a way to make them stronger, and then it ended. I kind of like that.
oh my
that
god, it does go back, and of course it goes into Wrath of Khan because okay, I gotta share it. I've shared it a bunch of times. I'm pretty sure I might have even shared it on a podcast before, but this one time I threw on a DVD copy I have of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, which is a good movie, but not the greatest Star Trek movie ever made. But
because the voyage home. Because,
because
ladies and gentlemen, the voyage home does exist.
it does.
That's a straight story.
As is a straight
the
story.
straight
Yes.
And first contact. Well,
okay, for
but pretty much that was
The Undiscovered Country.
Star Trek Beyond.
okay. So should I talk about the Doctor Who implications about First Contact, or should we
Well,
or should we talk
can I
about
tell you
Wrath of
about
Khan
Manny
first?
Koto before we go back?
Yeah, let's talk about Manny
Okay, so Manny Koto was the showrunner for Enterprise season 4. He passed away like a year or so ago. It was really unfortunate. I was making fun of him on the stream, and then I log off and I see in the news Star Trek writer Manny Koto has passed away. And I'm like, oh Jesus, I feel bad now. you know. Like,
Well, I think enough time's passed that you can go back to dunking on him.
Yeah, but I can still, you know, I'm not happy that he's dead, but I can still say that I do not approve of his writing style and his takes on Trek, shall we say, which come into this fine example. So, we have the official DVD commentary for Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and we have 2 guests. The first, Nicholas Meyer, the writer and director of Wrath of Khan, as well as he wrote some other... I think he did write Voyage Home and Undiscovered Country, or he partially wrote those, and directed number 6. So, you know, his vision is the one that Star Trek fans like. And on the other hand, Manny Koto, who, you know, wrote the other. So Manny Koto's on this commentary, and he's basically fanboying out, and he's just like, oh man, Star Trek 2, you know, this is a great movie. And, you know, in many ways, because motion picture was such a miss for me, I consider this the first real Star Trek movie. Like,
fuck off.
the most fanish horseshit. You know, you can just picture, and I'm going to quote that man, yeah. You can just picture Manny Koto sitting there watching the Vidra scenes and going, shoot a Klingon or something! Is that unfair of me? I don't know. But when you're on an official goddamn Paramount DVD commentary saying that the first movie doesn't count because you're such a Star Trek fan, well, maybe I'm not inclined to such generosity. But
and then you're William Shatner, who pretty much connects V'ger to the ancient Borg.
Well, yeah, that happened.
Like literally, yeah, that happened. We're pretty much in one of the Shatnerverse. In one of the Shatnerverse things, Spock melds with mind melds with the Borg, because of course he does.
Of course he does.
He mind melds with the Borg, and then all of a sudden it's like Spock's like, It's V'ger.
Okay, to
I
be fair,
remember V'ger.
to be
To
fair,
be fair, Spock merging mind melding with the Borg is an actual idea that could have some interesting implications. The problem is the decision to go, oh, it's V'ger, which is just
also, to be fair, if
lame.
William Shatner didn't do it, one of these Star Trek Expanded Universe nerds would have put those two and two together. Oh, we've got this machine guy, and we've got these machine assimilators. Maybe they're connected. It's all connected. Lore!
How-
Woo!
How
See, this
how
is
it-
why I feel like nerds need to shut up and get punted into the sun.
Yeah.
They always do this shit
Be-
every
uh,
time.
So okay, I won't talk about the Star Trek manga one about the Borg. No, we're not.
Okay, but
That's a
I just wanted to add that
I mean,
Nicholas Meyer, in response to this comment, he's basically a little more classy, and he compliments the director of motion picture, Robert Wise, who, you know, storied filmmaker, and is basically just like, yeah, you know, there were a few missteps on that picture, but if they didn't make them, then I would have made the same missteps in mine. So, it was
speaking of Robert Wise, the Haunting of Hill House adaptation for Netflix is the worst thing ever, and I want it to die.
is that
Oh,
Mike
God.
Flanagan's Hill House?
He directed the original Haunting.
No, I mean, did Mike Flanagan do the Netflix one?
Yeah, that's the Mike Flanagan one.
Oh, I see. I see.
Like, Mike Flanagan is very much. The best way to describe him is we have Stephen Moffat at home.
We have Stephen King at home.
Stephen Moffat and Stephen King at home. Though I think Stephen King is more aligned with is closer to Flanagan, that such that he approved of Doctor Sleep, which is frankly abysmal.
See, Doctor Sleep had some good ideas.
The problem is that it wants to have its cake and eat it too. It wants to be the respectful Stephen King version of The Shining, and also a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, which are both incompatible things.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I haven't seen the Doctor Sleep film, but yeah, those are completely incompatible fucking goals.
It's like very much okay. So you did not understand Doctor Sleep. You did not understand what Stanley Kubrick was doing at all in The Shining, let alone Shelley Duvall.
Oh,
So
boy.
yeah, like what was it? So when the McGregor, he's playing the grown up
McGregor.
child, even McGregor. When I honest to God love the flip scene where you have him walking backwards up the stairs with the axe, and the woman's just slowly walking up after him. Like she can sense, you know, oh, you're one of us. And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about, lady. Lady, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Which, honestly, though, in its defense, in Doctor Sleep's defense, is less heinous than the Ready Player One riff on The Shining.
I was just thinking about that. God help me. I was just thinking about that. I actually, while you were talking, I went and looked up a message I wrote almost 4 years ago now, in July 2021. A hot take about why I fucking hate Ready Player One. How it's just antithetical to my particular way I see media, if I may.
It's antithetical to fandom, but please continue.
Oh,
It's very Ready Player One is a movie for people who think that the AI generated versions of Studio Ghibli art is better than the original Studio Ghibli art.
oh, that's more scathing than anything I could have come up with.
No, Fresno, please say it. Please.
All right, I'm reading my words from July 16th, 2021. So much of how I take in media is all about how it made me feel, how it resonates with what I've previously seen and builds upon my own interior landscape, going from Star Trek The Next Generation to Sailor Moon to Enterprise to Symphogear, a long-running narrative of shows that changed me, moved me, made me feel feelings I expressed in verbal form and make me who I am today. That's how I see media and how I internalize it, by how its themes and messages make me feel compared to everything else I've seen. Ernest Cline does not do this. Ernest Cline in Ready Player One sees taking in geeky media as a competition to be won. He has seen every Star Trek episode ever made. He can tell you the history of the Federation, or why Klingons have forehead bumps, or what episode had the first Vulcan mind meld. He is not interested in how the themes of the story made him feel, how experiencing the show changed him. He is interested in memorizing the shit out of it and parroting it back to win at watching things. No feeling, no emotion, only reference. Unquote.
I tried to read Ready Player One, like the novel.
Read
And
for
I
college.
Yeah, I tried to read it in high school. Like literally I tried to sit down and read the book and I could barely get through chapter 1 before I like even like it feels like someone took that Second Life thing and was like, "You know what? Let's just make an entire movie about that, but in the future where like copyright is thrown out the window and everything's in it and it's just it's oh my god, it Ready Player One is pretty much what if we took fandom as a whole, not individual fandom as a whole, threw it at the screen, and then let's write a script that Dot Hack would look at and go, what the fuck are you doing?
What if we made having Ghostbusters memorized line for line a meritocracy?
No. It's worse than that. It's what if you made like I read in the original novel. There's this the Shining scene isn't in the original novel because that's very much Steven Spielberg having being personal, very much both being not being a hack to do what the novel did, and also having feelings about Stanley Kubrick that he still needs to process.
Yeah,
And the original novel did was you have to you have to say line for line the entire script of Monty Python and the Holy Grail by heart.
And you know what's funny? That's not even the first time that sort of beat happens in the thing, because another one of the trials or quests or whatever is you have to say line for line by heart the entire plot to the movie War Games.
Yeah. No, if I'm remembering the book correctly, it was you have to play the war game as it happened in the original film rather than the entire film line by line.
Well, whatever. The point is, it's not, ooh, how did this movie make me feel? It's, I've memorized every line! Now validate me with millions of dollars!
Yeah, the problem I have with fandom is that a lot of them think that at the point of being a nerd, of being interested in weird shit, is that they have the knowledge and they can own it. They are the masters and you will obey them. And if you don't obey them, fuck off and die.
Good lord.
What?
I just looked up. I wanted to remember to see like what the review scores were for Ready Player One.
Oh, they're up the board. They're positive. Gamers love it.
80%. 80%.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want me to cheer if you want me to cheer you up, I could just redo reviews of Kamen Rider Build from Letterboxd.
Are they good reviews or are they low?
Yeah, I'm gonna redo the positive reviews from let me just go through it.
But anyway. But anyway, the one thing, getting back. Okay, so now that we've gone down the rabbit hole of Ready Player One and the fact that I do not like The Abyss, let's back up.
Wait, you don't like James Cameron's The Abyss?
No, that's not what I said. I said we've gone through Ready Player One. We're looking into The Abyss. And I'm telling us to back up before we fall in.
Okay, what's something that we like that most people don't?
Hellbent?
I like Southland Tales.
I'm like looking at my shelf right now at the moment.
So Southland Tales is an absolute hot mess, which I love hot messes. I'll defend hot messes all the time if they're interesting enough.
Oh yeah.
And it's very much a movie that inexplicably got more things right than it did get things wrong about the future.
I've heard
Oh,
legends.
duh!
Of the movie.
I'm an idiot. Return to Oz is a cult classic now. Return to Oz.
He,
I've never
he
seen
says
it.
he's gonna take us out of the abyss. So the Wizard of Oz.
No, I said Return to Oz, not the Wizard of Oz.
Okay, so the thing about the Sam Raimi Wizard of Oz film is that it fails because it's about James Franco and not Mila Kunis.
Oh
If
God,
the movie
that
was about
fucking
Mila
movie.
Kunis, then the movie would be so much better. Then the movie would be more sound with what the Wizard of Oz is. Though then again, that would essentially be making it wicked, but the Wicked Witch of the West is less sympathetic. Still, though, the acting was not that great.
And,
Um,
anyway, Mike. So General Ginger.
oh my god! You know what? You know what? That just sparked it. You know what? Can we get movies and stuff written on the other Oz books? It's like everyone remembers the first one, and then that's it. When there's like 75 books of good material, of fantastic material, and they're just like, and then it's like they just redo the first one over and over.
Sean,
Yeah, but
John,
I think the problem with that is very straightforward. Greg Gerwig already signed up to do Chronicles of Narnia, and Jane Schoenberg is not going to be doing fucking Wizard of Oz.
I was just about to ask who directed I Saw the TV Glow because I blanked on their name, and I was like, give them an Ozma of Oz adaptation.
Oh my god, yeah, Ozma of Oz is...
Okay, you know, well, it doesn't have to be Gene Shelburne. Give it to... Here, give it to fucking Vera Drew.
The fact of... And they'd probably do it straight. They'd probably do it more than straight. I mean, the only thing they'd probably do is they'd probably make the gnomes rock people, because we gotta connect back to an earlier film, but it would still be new Oz material that's not the original story.
Or prequels to the original story.
But Sean, we simply must have 5 hours of movie about the tragic backstory of the cackling green witch from this movie I saw as a kid.
Okay, no, that's not quite what Wicked is.
It is literally the love story between the Scarecrow and the Wicked Witch of the West.
No, that's what the musical is. The novel is a much different beast. It's oh boy, how do I? The novel is basically a political drama set in the world of Oz, where the Wicked Witch of the West is a rabble-rousing lefty and our main character.
What?
She's fighting for the rights of the talking animals, and also it's either, I forget if it's explicitly stated or just heavily implied, but the Wizard of Oz did a trial of Ally McBeal on her mother.
Oh my... Katie McBain. Ally McBeal is a lawyer show from the 90s.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That move, yeah, there is a reason why I do not like Oz, the Great and Powerful, and I do not like Wicked. Mainly because it's why I prefer like Emerald City Confidential, which is a video game made by Red Jack Ice Games, who make like
Cries and
Clockwell
Fresmus.
series. Yeah, and that will probably be on Fresmus this year. But
so many options for Fresmus.
Yes.
Please don't lock me in another walking simulator. Spot the difference game, please. I got ocular migraines.
Well, I could make you play Dear Esther.
So back to the Wizard of Oz. Mike had me watch The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, the 1986 anime series last summer, and I enjoyed it. I'm a slut for city pop. What can I say?
Yeah, that Ozma, when we find out about that Ozma, and when it's revealed, Fresno got it like fast. Like Fresno got it like 4 episodes before. He was like, there's this talk about this like little girl, and then you have like Tip, and then he gets it, and
Yeah,
I'm
no
literally
shit.
sitting here going like, ugh.
You don't have to be Nostradamus to figure that shit out.
Yeah, he kind of get. But have you seen the original Ozma look, Fresno?
I do not recall if I have or not.
All right, let me link it because because it is literally uh it is a thing. Let's just say that.
On the original Ozma as a boy or as Ozma?
Ozma herself. Ozma after she's awakened and
Okay. Oh, very much like Princess Leia.
yeah.
It all comes back to
Yeah.
George.
No, like they literally said. I think they literally said that he got the design for Princess Leia from Ozma. Like, there's a lot of stuff that Ozma herself has kind of inspired. But again, no one has done an adaptation of Ozma. Or I think the only one who's ever done an adaptation of Ozma is Return to Oz.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, it's not like John Carter, which pretty damn good film, and had an unfortunately memorable theatrical experience due to certain assholes in the row in front of me.
Oh dear.
But it's not like John Carter, where all the stuff that was in Return to Oz and the Ozma books was taken by other media outside of Oz. It's just that no one wants to touch it because it is the gayest gay thing that ever gayed.
Oh yeah, but I mean, yeah, there's literally like people call it like, oh, like the friend of Dorothy, and just
Yeah,
like
she is the friend of Dorothy.
it literally states in the comic for Ozma is the friend of Dorothy. In No, it's literally in the book.
Yeah.
And so like the fact that like Ozma and Dorothy are like they're not because it's 1900 he can't outright say they're in love, but it's like all the stuff around it. It's like, how did this get away with this in 1910?
We're here for it.
Yeah, I'm also trying to find her comic appearance because her comic appearance is literally one of the greatest versions of her.
One is this the Xenoscope one?
No, it's the one made for Marvel.
Oh, good. You're not pulling from tits out for the public domain.
Oh, good God, no.
What?
Okay, so Xenoscope is a publisher that's mostly known for publishing a series called Grimm's Fairy Tales, which can be best described as softcore porn based off of public domain figures. They have one about the Alice in Wonderland stories, they have one about the Wizard of Oz, and they have one about Peter Pan, but they aren't the fuckers who published Lost Girls.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We talk more about Lost Girls, but we don't want to get this video demonetized.
Yeah,
This video isn't even monetized, but we don't want to get it taken down, so no.
Yeah, I'd rather not talk about Lost Girls because Lost Girls.
I like having a YouTube channel, so let's stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, and they like, if you want Dark Wonderland, go to American McGee's Alice Madness Returns. That's
on the other hand, American McGee turns out to be a bit of a shithead.
That
Damn.
too, but
Damn.
I mean, there is this game that's currently in development that's probably a Steam release, Harmonia or something like that. It seems like a very charming Alice in Wonderland one, albeit a bit too she was always crazy. In some respects. I do like the art style, though.
Yeah, so now that we've tried to dig ourselves out of the abyss, but have fallen now fully into the abyss,
Hey Fresno, what about Sailors Uranus and Neptune in the English dub of Sailor Moon?
What?
I talk about Sailor Moon because last time I talked about Sailor Moon, Fresno and I ended up getting cursed by a poor magician.
This is true. This actually happened. Luckily, we had a better magician to pray to some god to uncurse us. And
We
also,
didn't even need the bear magician. It was just a shit spell.
well. I enjoyed I appreciated the effort from the better magician. Let's put it like that. Which was more than was put into the hex.
But anyway, getting out of that and trying to find another way. I'm trying to like think of like what I'm trying to think of like a big one that would like cause a lot of discussion that all of us would know.
The
That
Marvel
the
Cinematic Universe sucks.
yeah, just go out and say it.
Yeah, we've been going an hour. We haven't talked about comics yet. And we've got Sean here. We might as well.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even talking about the comics yet, though the vast majority of Big Two comics aren't worth reading because, dear God, the art is so fucking terrible. The writing is subpar. And I've heard stories that basically the editors assume that the readers are fucking idiots and demand you to, every page, you have to have a cap. This is one thing that I've heard. I'm not saying who I've heard from, but uh, uh, every page you have to have the setting and the time, as if you can't tell from the image.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because some editors are just fucking idiots.
This is why I basically went into and just said 70s to like 90s, early 2000s, and
Yeah.
I'm just here. That's because new comics genuinely piss me off. Secret Empire, all them.
I could
But
probably give you some recommendations for new stuff. Though I'd probably end up mostly focusing on non-Marvel DC stuff because a lot of Marvel DC stuff sucks balls.
No, well,
Yeah.
you did good for me for
Yeah.
the comics challenge, Sean. You did give me one DC book that was garbo, but I had to
Let
have.
me look at the list for the Marvel DC, the Marvel DC one. See if I have a okay. The intro Cape
We
comic.
need to move on from Doomsday. There, I said it.
Yeah, Death and Return of Superman isn't good. Like, the Triangle era sucks. It is mediocrity at its biggest. Like, my god, if your selling point for the Triangle era is if you like the support, if you want to learn more about Superman's supporting cast, by all means, read this era. You are fucking sucking. Like, Superman is lame in that era. Bonesman McGee, or as most people call him, Doomsday, is literally just I am going to punch people over and over again. Like that's all the Death and Return of Superman fight is. Superman
Literally.
and Doomsday punching each other without any real artistic value. It is shit. It sucks. It sucked when I was a kid reading the trade paperbacks for all three of them the first time, and it sucks now that I'm an adult.
What sucks. What sucks is the what starts this whole thing is he finds Blue Beetle and almost kills him. That's the thing. Like he basically is like I want to fight Superman, and when Superman doesn't, he just goes after other superheroes until
No. What happened? No, it's not even that. It's dumber than that. He's just going through America, punching everything in his path. Whatever's in his way is his path. And then at one point, he stops by a supermarket and sees on a big TV an advertisement by some fucking wrestler going, "I challenge you to face me in Metropolis." So he goes to fucking Metropolis, and that's why he fights Superman.
And then there's the cyborg fascist Superman who
Yeah, and then you have the four duplicate Supermans in the Return of Superman, where it's a guy inspired by Superman, Superman's teenage clone, Superman's body possessed by some shit, and
no Superman's teenage clone that was created by Lex freaking Luthor.
yeah, but no, that's not in this era. That's that's a retcon from Jeff Johns' Teen Titans run. You have those two, Superman's body being piloted by some Krypton bullshit, and Reed fucking Richards.
Fresno's over here like, oh god.
Yeah, Cyborg Superman is Reed Richards, is a Reed Richards parody. And not a good one.
Who's also a fascist.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ultimate Reed Richards going fascist is very much a case of a teenage boy in the tech industry being told that he's special for basically an entire decade and thinking, yeah, I'm the special one who gets to decide who lives and dies.
Oh, joy.
Oh my god. You want to know you know what? You know what, like, and then after all that, and then after the Death in Return, they did a final book after it. Basically it's called Superman X Superman slash Doomsday. It's the second battle between Superman and Doomsday, where you finally find out about Doomsday, and you find out that Doomsday was pretty much a genetic weapon created by some off planet somewhere that ended up on Earth, and then you find out that, oh yeah, Superman punching him wouldn't kill him. So then they had to go find a way to finally kill him once and for all. Like, that's the second battle with Superman.
Which, again, keep in mind, this is Superman comics. The guy who got several years of controversy over snapping Zod's neck. Like, I know the presentation of Man of Steel is very dour and miserable, but come the fuck on if you're gonna say it's fine for Superman to kill Doomsday but not Zod.
No, Zod is... No, well, no, because I don't even think at the end he even kills Doomsday.
Yeah, but that's literally the intent for Superman punching Doomsday to death in the original Death of Superman story. He thought that the only way to stop Doomsday was to kill him, so he's gonna punch him to death. Which, again, highlights how fucking lame this era of Superman comics is, because their idea for Superman dying is him punching Doomsday to death.
What vision? What imagination?
See, this is why whenever I recommend people superhero movies, I always go to, like, watch Superman's 1 and 2, and maybe 4 if you want to laugh.
What?
But,
No Helen Slater Supergirl?
And Helen Slater Supergirl, yes.
What about Tim Burton Batman?
And Tim Burton Batman. But I'm talking about, like... But I'm talking about, like, if you want, like, Superman, if you want, like, the definition of, like, if you want, like, the first step into, like, TV/movie Superman, Christopher Reeve, maybe Dean Cain, if you can handle him being a douche nowadays. Yeah.
I'm gonna get into a side tangent about the DCAU Superman, which I think you're gonna recommend next.
Yeah, I was about to say the animated
Superman is crap. Like, Justice League Superman from is very much your Republican dad Superman.
Yeah.
He's very much the Republican dad who has to learn not to be a Republican dad. He gets into fistfights for bullshit reasons, and frankly just sucks. Like, he's not... The reason why Batman and Wonder Woman are a ship is because they have a dynamic, and people are actually interested in writing about Batman. And because Kevin Conroy was a living legend. And then, yeah, I know Wonder Woman being with a guy is often boring. I mean, yeah.
Steve Trevor's right there. Steve Trevor is... Like,
okay.
You got me started now. You got me started.
I knew that Batman Wonder Woman ship would activate Hank.
This bullshit.
The Batman Wonder Woman ship irks me like you wouldn't. Like, it just... What my book... See, when you read comics nowadays, there's almost like they even tried it out in comics. They tried out, like, you know, like, ooh, what about Batman and Wonder Woman? Ooh, Superman and Wonder Woman. Oh,
yeah, Superman and Wonder Woman suck.
Yeah, it just... Superman and Lois Lane have been a thing since the freaking 40s. I'm sorry, that's and then you have Wonder Woman in like the many different iterations of Steve Trevor, like which I think the best one that's been made is the '70s version when it came back on the new network and it was like it's the son of Steve Trevor. Like that was actually a good idea where it was the grown up son
Which is
and they go
basically
off.
what they did with, which is what they did with Sharon Carter, if we're being honest.
Yeah. And then Batman has Selena Kyle because I still think it's funny that DC looked at that and was like, no.
Yeah, fine. There's a joke. There's actually a joke that somebody they did a while back that comparing and contrasting Superman and Batman's love interests, where Superman has like 50 women, yeah, 50 girlfriends, and Batman just has Leah Kyle.
Hmm.
Let me find the image. It's by the guy who's currently doing the Flash Gordon comic.
Oh my.
Yeah, there was and then in Batman Hush, Selena Kyle throws Lois Lane off a roof to try and snap Superman out of Poison Ivy's thing, out of Poison Ivy's mind control, and the mere action of just pushing Lois Lane off the roof, Superman's like, and I'm there. That is how much he loves Lois, and the fact that why can't you know what? Why does everything have to be a relationship now?
Mm.
The Doctor has to be in a love interest with multiple people. And before you say anything, yes, Rose is one. That's when I watched the Rose episodes, like with her in 9, I liked because it was 9 warming up to Rose as a friend, and then 10, and then it was like it felt like a sort of crush thing, maybe in, maybe not. 10 was just what, I love you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just posted the Superman image.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, Lana Lang, Lois. Wait, the mermaid? What?
Lori Lermanis.
Oh, and then you just have Batman like I love a woman with cats
Yeah.
who I keep trying to chase after, like who I literally keep trying to chase after, and she will not stop.
Yeah. Um. Right. Just to bring Fresno into this conversation, Mike, do you have any opinions on Tom Taylor, the guy who wrote that Superman comic I had Fresno read?
Oh no.
No, but I have an opinion on John Kent specifically.
Go on.
So, if people don't know, John Kent is the I
Soul.
think he's the Soul son.
Superman has also adopted 2 kids from Warworld, but I do not want to get into that bullshit.
Yeah, so I keep confusing the Superman's families from Superman and Lois and the modern comics because Superman and Lois is, I'm sorry, a much better depiction of his family. But
That doesn't require much.
yeah, but John Kent is the son of Superman, who modern comics is trying to make into the new basically the handing of the torch.
For public domain reasons.
Yeah, and so to talk about John Kent, you have to talk about Injustice.
Oh, yeah, Tom Taylor got his start writing the Injustice comic.
Injustice, for those of you who are just joining us, was a I don't know the console generation number, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 era, DC fighting video game, fighting game.
It was at the tail end of that, beginning of the PS4, Xbox One era.
Okay, around it. Yeah, but yeah, it's basically what if Mortal Kombat but with DC superheroes in it.
And basically, the story of Injustice is, what if Joker got bored one day and just went after Superman for a day?
Which, I mean, I know the correct response to John Byrne is ignore everything John Byrne did and you'll be much happier. But John Byrne already did this.
The fact of is that the fact of is that Joker goes after Lois, and then the fact of being able to, when World's Finest, when this is done in World's Finest and is done so much better in World's Finest,
Lord.
Injustice. World's Finest is the crossover episode between Batman and Superman, where the Joker teams up with Lex Luthor, and then Lex Luthor betrays Joker, so then he ties up Lex Luthor, and so they have to go save Lex Luthor.
Yeah, whereas as Injustice is very much let's have an excuse to have all the superheroes fight each other and not have it be mind control. So Superman's a fascist because this was the 2013s and no one has a idea what to do with Superman. And other than like the only people who seem to have an idea of what to do with Superman is Grant Morrison, and if though he hasn't been given a run, probably Tom King. But Tom King has been, let's just have Superman do cool shit in space.
You know, and even in that they do the Superman Wonder Woman ship where Wonder Woman's like I am, where like she is like even there they do the Superman after Lois is gone, Superman goes to Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Also, the backstory for Wonder Woman is kind of fucked in the Injustice universe because I think Tom Taylor is a guy who is very much writing to get republished on Tumblr. Or he is very much writing a Superman comic for, in his Injustice run, he does an issue where Superman and a flashback issue to when Superman was a good guy. Remember? Don't you miss when Superman was nice and a fuddy-duddy who kind of sucks? Again, so much of Superman writing has the assumption that Superman sucks is part of the appeal. Like, what makes All-Star Superman great is that Superman doesn't suck. Or at least he sucks in a way that's not, he's lame. He sucks in a way that's, he's been lying to his girlfriend for years and can't even tell her that he's dying.
What the hell am I looking at?
That's a new age comic, by the way, Fresno.
Can I even put this in the video? Fucking...
No.
I'm not putting this random comic panel of a bikini babe in the video. What is this?
No,
oh God, Leia Williams.
Yeah, Leia Williams is pretty much. What if Tom Taylor, but
even more Tumblr.
Oh boy. Oh, so I had a thought while y'all were talking about Wonder Woman. Just a little side tangent.
Okay,
a brief little thought.
Do you want me to explain who that person is?
We can do that after Fresno's conversation. Fresno,
it's very brief, but I once read Al Sandler's book about Wonder Woman, which I don't know if you can buy it anymore, but
no, I don't think it. I mean, I think you can get it through her Patreon, but otherwise, no.
Okay, well, either yeah.
But you should support her Patreon. She's a damn good writer.
Yes, and yes, she didn't kill me for writing about Britain the Prophecy, so good. But anyway, I remember reading this book, and I remember really being fascinated by that strange period where she lost her powers, and like it was the mod era, and so I was like, yeah, I believe so, and so I went to look it up, and I read the first issue, and then I got to like the blind kung fu master, and then I was immediately like, oh, this is some Talon shit. No, thank you.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
it's kind of like it kind of set off my this is horribly.
Talent. Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
This
we're
is
in
not
that
Doctor Who
podcast.
reviews. I can say that.
Yeah, Talons. Okay, because there's a whole other thing in Batman comics about Talons.
No. You know.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just
the thing with
it,
Day O'Neill is that there is a lot of Orientalism in him. He is considered the progressive writer, but there is like he's the guy who created Ra's al Ghul.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So a fascinating idea, but then I took one look at it and went, the past was a mistake, and anyway,
Yeah,
but
if you
It's
if
okay. Like I was talking about this with Mike on Friday. Hey, the thing you have to understand about Wonder Woman is that the majority of her history sucks.
yeah,
Sucks because no one knows what to do with it. So you start with the original Marston comics, where it's very much a past mistake on the racial side, but still very fascinating in terms of its utopian vision of womanhood. Then Robert,
and the past was a mistake on
William Moulton
beliefs of
Marston,
like just
aka the Stephen Moffat of the 1940s, because
no,
he's
no,
into
no.
Dommy Mommies.
Well, yeah, but I'd say he's if that's no, it's more than that. It's like imagine
the man lived
Georgia L.
basically.
Ron Hubbard.
Oh
Basically,
God.
yeah, basically the man loved two women equally. He loved them both. And when he died, those women lived with each other for the rest of their days because they ended up, liking lived with each other for the rest of their days. But
Yeah.
when he wrote Wonder Woman, he wrote some of his Wonder Woman is good. Like he really tried to make her, someone to stand out. It's just a lot of his other stuff. A lot of the other stuff is a lot of like, let's just say rope is involved and go with
Yeah,
keep
there
it
is.
at that.
Yeah, there is a lot of bondage stuff with his Wonder Woman, and also very much to a philosophical extent of bondage, like the necessity. Philosophically speaking, he believes in the need for bondage. So
Yeah.
for him, you had Robert Kanigher, who is a virulent sexist.
Joy.
Like
Yeah.
the most virulent sexist shit ever, and his approach is to suck so much.
Basically,
Like, oh my god.
for those people who just want, I'm just gonna state this right now. For those people who don't want to listen to this, if you want to if you want to know about Wonder Woman, the Marston comics, the George Perez comics, and the '70s TV show, and the '90s animated universe. There's your Wonder Woman. Go.
I mean, again, the problem with the '90s one is they ship her with Batman, but that's a whole
Yeah.
other conversation. But after Kanigher, they had the O'Neill era, which we talk about as being mod stuff, but that has problems as stuff. At the end of it, they almost got Sam Delaney, one of the great science fiction writers, to do a run, but for various reasons, they decided not to do that and brought back Robert Kanigher, who in his first issue decides to take a shot at Gloria Steinem.
Yay.
Wonder Woman from there is kind of a hazy. We have no idea what we're doing with her, or until George Perez, which adds all this Greek mythology stuff, which is honestly a bit of a what's the term with the chalice? A poison chalice.
Yeah.
But
sounds
it's
right.
so good. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. Then you have '90s Wonder Woman with her working at like a fast food restaurant. And then you have Greg Rucka era Wonder Woman, which a lot of people will recommend.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg Rucka seems to be quite good, but he very
That
much
Wonder Woman,
he emphasizes the militarism, which has problems.
that Wonder Woman, one of the things known about that Wonder Woman is that she snapped the neck of Maxwell Lord, who is a villain. She basically snapped his neck without a second thought.
And if I had a nickel
Yeah,
for
that-
every one of
yeah,
DC's
it
big
builds
three who
to
snapped
that.
somebody's neck.
Yeah.
Very much builds to that, but also, again, Wonder Woman is a bit of a blind spot, so I'm just going through the history of what I know. Then you have an era in between in Rucka and Simone, where you have the countdown stuff, which Oh boy.
Ew.
Then
And
you
then
have
Gail Simone and Gail. I'm gonna say
Gail
this
Simone
about Gail
is
Simone.
Gail
Gail
Simone.
Sim-
Okay.
Sorry, you say it, Sean. You say it.
Sean first.
Uh,
Sean
Gail
first.
Simone, yeah, Gail Simone seems like a very decent person, if a bit too always online. But as a writer, she's very much female Joss Whedon.
Oh no.
She writes really good Red Sonja. If you want a really good comic
Red
from Gail Simone,
Sonja.
go read her Red Sonja stuff, because it is fantastic. The problem is that she tried to turn Wonder Woman into Red Sonja.
Yeah. After that, you have JMS's run, which at the same time as he was doing Wonder Woman, he was also doing Superman, which was infamous for being not coherent, not good, not written on time. To the point where they had to publish a pulled old Kirk Busiek short or comic about Crypto reacting to Superboy dying in Infinite Crisis, which happened about 5 or 7 years before the issue actually came out.
God.
Uh, That is how
And
bad
then,
the JMS era is for
and,
Superman. And
and
now imagine him doing that with Wonder Woman.
Yay!
Yeah, this
and
was.
then
Yeah,
and then there's
and
the
then
and
after
then
that,
there's
you have the New 52, which in the Justice League book, which had two different books for the first couple, like first half of the New 52 era, which was the Justice League book and the actual Wonder Woman book proper. The Justice League book was written by Jeff Johns, who very much
Nah!
writes Wonder Woman, who writes her like she's right off of the uh, a boat from immigration services.
Oh no.
Is
and
very much,
then
and that's where you get the whole Superman is now dating Wonder Woman stuff. Then you
yeah.
have the Brian Azzarello stuff, which basically ignores the entire DC universe outside of the Wonder Woman stuff and also the New Gods.
Yeah, pretty much that that is a that is a good idea, and why me and Sean, you basically are listening to one of the our conversations post podcast where
Yeah,
we pretty much said that's a good idea. It's just the fact that they turned her into one of Zeus's daughters.
yeah. I mean, like I can understand why the decision was made, but it's a bit boring. And honestly, it's very much done as well as you can on the fact that it's essentially Wonder Woman having a romance with a girl who got fucked over by Zeus. Like that's what the arc is about. It's about Wonder Woman protecting her girlfriend.
Welcome to
And
Wonder Woman.
If
Welcome
Rain
to
were
Wonder
here,
Woman.
if Rain were here, he'd
yeah,
have so much to
after
say.
that, however, or all the good possibilities you could do with okay, Wonder Woman is now the god of war and also Zeus's daughter, or are thrown out into the worst possible decisions. And also Superman's in this book now, and he's dating Wonder Woman.
Oh boy.
No,
Is
no,
that
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. You gloss over this. He's not just dating Wonder Woman. He's having an affair with Wonder Woman.
Joy? I forgot about that. So
He's having he's with Lois and also dating Wonder Woman.
yeah, and then you basically have that go on, gets to the point where it's so bad they have to bring back Greg Rucka, who basically says all of this stuff never happened.
Well, he just
And
basically there is a reason why why Rebirth happened and why the new stuff and
yeah,
just
Rebirth. Okay, Rebirth is a whole complicated situation that we're
what
not getting
yeah
into.
we're trying to keep it on hot
Yeah,
takes,
so,
but
yeah,
just
after Wonder Woman, after Greg Rucka leaves Wonder Woman and fixes all this problems up to be effective, and as a result has sort of a crash out in part due to a Lois Lane book that falls apart and becomes a question book until the final issue ends with Superman standing in front of an ICE office. This as one family is saved from ICE.
I'm sorry, I had to order a poutine. We were talking about Wonder Woman?
yeah,
Yeah,
welcome.
yeah.
Yeah,
So after that, you get a bunch of mini runs by various creators from Steve Orlando to G. Will Wilson to Kelly Thompson. Very much no one who is staying on for too long. Until finally we have the current era ran by Tom King, which is honestly weaker Tom King, except for the backups featuring Trinity, who, while a corporate plant, is very much some of the best things that are coming out of DC Comics. Just absolutely hilarious shit.
Yeah, because he actually understands that they're freaking friends with each other. That's it. That's all they are.
No, like it's basically just the backups are about the quote unquote new Trinity of Superman's son John Kent, Batman's son Damian Wayne, and the recently introduced Wonder Woman's daughter Trinity. Basically, they all team. Yeah, it's basically telling stories throughout their history of how how Superman and Robin babysit baby Wonder Girl.
Aw.
It is fucking hilarious. Like, there's one where they take her to to was essentially a Taylor Swift concert, and Robin becomes a Swiftie instantly.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
It's basically two teenagers having fun with their cousin. I mean,
another one has them teaching the girl how to fly a kite. And so he tries. So yeah, and she keeps failing, and the faces that she has. Okay, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna pull it up because it is hilarious.
But anyway, while he's pulling up, this picture in the chat is known by everyone as the second Harley Quinn. Fresno meet Punchline.
Oh God.
So basically, Fresno, if you for the short end of it before Sean goes in and we get back to hot takes. Basically, Punchline here is basically what if you took Harley Quinn, took anti-hero Harley Quinn, made her evil, made her a scientist, and she likes a lot of knives.
Oh.
Also, yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely hilarious. Just, my God, this is hilarious. Just absolutely delightful. There's one where where Wonder Girl goes back in time to meet samurais, and in the process, she keeps changing history. So, like a one timeline, it turns Robin and Superman into Joker, into cowboys, or the classic costumes, or robots, or Lex Luthor, Super Luthor, and the Joker from the movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh my
It's
God.
just absolutely delightful.
But anyway, as we try and pull ourselves back out of the abyss once again, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, something Fresno can now have a better conversation with.
Oh God, Marvel,
Right.
Marvel.
So Fresno, why don't you begin since we talked for like 30 minutes? This will be I think this should be the last topic of the discussion.
Yeah, we're according to my thing, we've been recording for 100 minutes. I'd like to keep this around 2, so that should be long enough for a Wizard of Oz speed run. What do you want me to say about Marvel, the MCU?
So, Fresno, what have you what are your opinions on the MCU as a whole? As a whole,
I mean, it was pretty good when it started, but it has run itself sort of into the ground. Probably should have stopped with Endgame, but money. The last MCU thing I have actually seen was WandaVision, which I mostly appreciated, but Madoka Magica Rebellion is right there.
Or for that matter, Legion.
Or for that, Legion. But and then following that, they went full tilt with the TV stuff, and it kind of just went and cinematic bombs, and just oh Lord, you're really going here.
Yeah.
The less said about She-Hulk is.
I didn't even watch past the first episode. I didn't even watch past the first episode of the Miss Marvel show, and Miss Marvel is like the one Marvel person I actually followed the comics of. One of the two. The other one was a Gwenpool. So.
Okay, so Martin Gwenpool. Apparently, they're doing a new Gwenpool series where it's actually Gwen Stacy, which sounds like shit.
We already have Spider Gwen. You need your Gwen Stacy. She's right there.
It's just the problem with the MCU is the problem I had with with the DC movie. When they went to the television shows, it really did a lot better for DC. Supergirl is, while bumpy, and about the halfway mark, they decided to go, "Hey, let's just introduce Lex Luthor and change the entire show." But
Yeah, the joke my friend and has is the Supergirl show basically just takes all the Superman plots you could have. Like,
Yeah.
I think the last episode is literally the arc of the Bendis run where they have Superman reveal his identity to the world.
Uh,
But with
no. That's the 100th episode where they pretty much a guy pretty much Mr. McSpicklick, I think that's how you say it.
Mixie Spitalik.
Yeah,
Mitzi
Mitzi
Spitlick.
Spitalik, who is basically a guy from beyond the universe, beyond, and he basically can change time or thing on a whim.
Mike, we've all seen Gilbert Gottfried in the '90s show.
No, the guy I know, but this he's played by like another actor in the Supergirl show, and basically Supergirl goes to him, and it's like, I wish that I wish I didn't ruin my relationship with the sister of Lex Luthor.
Mm.
But and so the entire thing ends up being an entire thing of, yeah, this is the best. Basically, the entire episode ends up being, this is the best universe you could have had. So work with it.
Oh God.
So it's
Yeah.
Tapestry. Or It's a
Yeah.
Wonderful Life.
Or
Yeah,
Lower Decks season one. Not Lower Decks. The one with Pike. Strange New Worlds season one finale.
yeah, it pretty much is like one universe one universe she tries to change into is she reveals herself to the world, which then because of that, all of her friends and family are killed in various ways
Wait,
because
I've
of
gotten in.
because of because of people from people who hate like superpowered beings.
Now wait a minute.
Which is-
I've got a
Again, sounds
in-universe.
extremely lame.
I've got
Yeah.
I've got an in-universe example for you. That shitty ass Flash movie from a couple years ago.
Oh God!
Yeah, that.
I tried to watch that. I really did. No.
No.
God, no. That's actually based off of Flashpoint, which was one of the events from DC Comics where the Flash wakes up in a parallel universe where, among other things, where the Atlanteans are at war with the Amazons. Batman is actually Thomas Wayne and shoots people in the face, and Superman is captured by the U.S. government and experimented on.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That last one is just what they do with the Supergirl in the Flash.
Yeah.
Except it's not the U.S. government; it's Russia because the U.S. government probably funded half the shit in this movie.
Yeah, then you also. But speaking of which, the MCU.
The MCU, which probably should have ended after Endgame, but well, we're still going. Here you go.
Yeah,
Hey, kids. Here's, if I may, here's 5.5 hours of names of actors. They were in superhero films from the 2000s, previously owned by the 20th Century Fox Corporation. Aren't you excited?
Yeah, it's very much like a lot of people making arguments for the MCU where they're gonna step away from now that Disney owns 20th Century Fox, they're gonna remake the X-Men and step away from the X-Men and stuff from the early 2000s, which sucked. Like we'll have friggin' and we'll still have Hugh Jackman because Hugh Jackman's good, but everything, and maybe Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, but everything else will be stepped away from. So we can get more comic accurate stuff.
They doubled down, and it became the modern canon, even though none of it makes any sense whatsoever.
And then X-Men '97 happened.
Yeah. And that resulted in comics shipping happen, mainly Krakoa, which is a complicated affair that probably requires its own video just to unpack the implications of. And I basically can only recommend the first arc in whole heart because is a damn good start. It just X-Men stuff never works.
This is
Ever.
what you were telling. This is exactly what you were telling me when I watched it. And I was like, "Oh, it's really good." Oh no, the ending. Oh no, and you were like, "No, this it always happens. X-Men never works."
Yeah.
So
every
so
time.
and
Every
then there
time.
was that one and then there was that one movie with Ant-Man in which they introduced this new interesting villain who's going to be our new villain for the second
And then
term.
Jonathan Majors got arrested for assault.
Yeah, and then all their plans
Although
got.
technically he was introduced in Loki.
Yeah, what they're trying to do
Let me
is
get fucking homework. This is honestly the problem with modern comics, or at least the big two. You have to read. They want you to read everything so that you'll pay for everything.
yeah.
Like,
I don't want to read about fucking Cyclops and his impotent relationship with Jean Grey and Emma Frost and Wolverine. I want to read a fucking Spider-Man comic. Like, I don't care. You're not making me care about these characters. You just assume I care because they're old characters, or that I remember from my childhood. And if I'm being honest, I'd much rather read something new.
Yeah, at this point there are reasons why I said go with what you like or go with like a time period and then just stay with it.
Yeah, like there's some new stuff that I will recommend. Rom V and Evan Cagel's New Gods is fantastic. The recently released East Absolute Martian Manhunter is fucking wild. There's also Jonathan Hickman's current run on Ultimate Spider-Man, which is basically a lot of people are saying that this is all because of they brought back the marriage for this one, but Dan Slott also did a marriage book, and that one sucked so much.
Yeah, Spider-Man has not evolved since
There's not
One More Day.
There's not been a great Spider-Man run since JMD Mateus, which was the late '80s, early '90s. I know people are gonna say JMS, but JMS sucks. Like, that's the one that has One More Day in it.
Should we tell Fresno about Sin's past, or does he know about Sin's past?
I do not know about this.
God no.
So
Okay.
Sin's
Okay.
so
Okay, no,
Sin's,
I'm gonna explain it. I'm the Spider-Man person. I'm fucking
okay.
explaining.
Okay, so
Go.
but no, before you begin, this will be probably our last thing. This will probably be our last thing talked about. Thank you very much for joining us. If you want to get off now.
Okay, so in Sin's past, as Peter is confronted by two people, one of whom looks suspiciously like the deceased Harry Osborn. The other is, once again, Gwen Stacy has come back.
Oh,
Only she's not.
I think I know. I think I know what this is from that fella you've been researching. But I'm going to let you continue the story because fuck it, they need to hear this bullshit.
Yeah.
But I now know what you're talking about.
After a series of convoluted events, Peter confronts MJ about this, and he finds out that while he was away on a trip, Gwen Stacy had an affair with Norman Osborn. It was then retconned in recent comics to say that this was actually some sort of magic bullshit involving Mysterio bullshit, and they are not and they're just clones.
Oh, I didn't know about the retcon part, but that's very silly.
Yeah, again, there are literally no ideas with Spider-Man comics nowadays, such that my fucking I will destroy everything you love Spider-Man run would actually be better than what most Spider-Man runs are doing right now. Like, apparently Spider-Man is now out working for Doctor Doom in a magical tournament.
So anyway, about the crime syndicate and Superwoman. You see,
everyone.
So in the first season of Senki, that's your Symphogear?
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
We have a lot of hot takes. We have a lot of discussion in us, but we also know for the fact of if we don't stop at 2 hours, we could literally record a 5-hour conversation.
And
It would
also,
literally
if we
be
do
us.
that, it'll take ages for me to upload on my potato of a modem. So we should probably cut it here. Happy April, everybody! Spring is on the way. We hope you've enjoyed this freeform discussion of whatever the fuck we just did.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. What we've done is we just let loose. We just let loose. This is therapy after song of the soul. This is just therapy, which after April Fools, you should probably write in the description therapy session.
Therapy session.
Yeah.
Oh, it's it's going back full. We're going back to the beginning here. It's like how you don't like 10, but you like 14 because he went and got therapy.
Yes.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Hey,
Aw,
we've come full circle. Good night, sweethearts and lovelies. I don't know if we're gonna have any stuff linked in our things. Go on Blue Sky, find us. Listen to Doctor Who reviews. Listen to Kamen Rider reviews. Blah 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 blah. Something mirror. Say goodnight, kids.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody. So anyway, about Return to Oz. You see.